The day Antoine Semenyo had dreamed of for years had finally arrived. After months of speculation, transfer rumours and personal anticipation, the Ghanaian forward had completed his transfer to Manchester City. The club, managed by Pep Guardiola, was one of the most prestigious in Europe, and for Semenyo, this was a massive step in his career. A few weeks prior, he was making waves in the English Premier League with his performances at Bournemouth. Now he found himself in the heart of Manchester City's star-studded squad, eager to prove his worth. It was early on a crisp morning when Semenyo made his way into the City Football Academy, the training ground that had become synonymous with success and brilliance. The towering glass structures and immaculate green pitches greeted him as he drove through the gates, the same gates that had seen legends like Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling prepare for the big matches. Semenyo couldn't help but feel the weight of the moment. As he walked into the changing room, his nameplate shining on his locker, he couldn't shake the excitement mixed with a bit of nervousness. The room was filled with some of the best players in the world, world-class talent that had won multiple titles and had established themselves in footballing history. The thought of training alongside such players was surreal. Semenyo took a deep breath and gathered his thoughts. He had worked hard for this opportunity, from his breakthrough in the Championship to the top-tier level with Bournemouth. Now at Manchester City, it was all about showing that he belonged. The first drill, building connections. The first training session with Manchester City had a different tempo than anything Semenyo had experienced before. Under Guardiola's watchful eye, the drills were fast, precise and demanding. As he jogged onto the training pitch, he saw the state-of-the-art facilities and felt the intensity that filled the air. The warm-up was fast-paced and included a lot of ball work. Semenyo was immediately impressed by how effortlessly the ball was passed around. It was clear that City's philosophy was built on fluidity and constant movement. The first drill involved small-sided games where players were tasked with maintaining possession in tight spaces while incorporating quick passes and creative movement. Semenyo's first task was to fit into this style. As a forward, his role was to link up play, make runs in behind, and provide that final spark in front of goal. He wasn't used to this level of technical intricacy, and at first he felt slightly overwhelmed. His passes didn't always find their target, and his positioning was a little off. However, Semenyo was a quick learner, and he focused hard on the feedback he had received during the warm-up drills. Guardiola's voice echoed across the pitch, offering tactical guidance. Antoine, you are strong, but here you must be quick with your decisions. Don't wait for the ball, move for the ball. The space will open up. Think 2 steps ahead. Semenyo nodded, grateful for the feedback. Guardiola's philosophy wasn't just about playing beautiful football. It was about understanding space, tempo and intelligence. As the drills continued, Semenyo began to adapt. His first touch was improving, his vision sharper. He was beginning to understand what Guardiola wanted from him, understanding Pep's tactical demands. After the warm-up drills, the team gathered in a huddle where Guardiola spoke briefly about the tactical objectives of the session. Today's focus was on transitioning quickly from defence to attack, a key element of City's style of play. The ability to win the ball back quickly and exploit spaces immediately was something that Guardiola demanded from every player. The training pitch was divided into zones, and the exercise was designed to simulate a high-pressure situation where the team had to break quickly after winning the ball. City's defenders were excellent at reading the game and stepping up, so once the ball was won, it was about getting the ball forward at lightning speed. Semenyo was tasked with timing his runs and getting into the right positions to receive through balls. As the drill progressed, Semenyo could feel the intensity rise. He was now starting to understand the rhythm of City's game. The movement off the ball was important, and Semenyo realised that if he wanted to make an impact, he had to adjust his mentality. The game wasn't just about holding the ball up, it was about being in the right place at the right time. In one of the exercises, Semenyo found himself on the end of a long ball played to him from the midfield. The ball arrived perfectly into his path as he made a diagonal run behind the defence. He had only a split second to control and finish. The moment felt surreal, but his composure let him down, and the shot went wide. Undeterred, Semenyo acknowledged his mistake and continued to focus on improving. Guardiola, observing from the sideline, called Semenyo over for a brief discussion. "Your positioning is getting better. But remember, in moments like that, you must be decisive. Don't overthink it. Let the game come naturally." Semenyo nodded. The feedback was valuable, and he knew he had a lot to learn, but he was improving. The longer he trained, the more comfortable he became with Guardiola's system. The final test, scrimmage, and real-world application. The final portion of the training session was the scrimmage. Semenyo was eager to put everything he had learned to the test. The scrimmage was intense, with every pass and movement having a purpose. The ball moved quickly from player to player with minimal touches, and the game was relentless. Semenyo was determined to make an impact. The game was fast-paced, and each decision mattered. Semenyo quickly realised that in this environment there was no time to dwell on mistakes. He had to be proactive, always thinking ahead, constantly moving and creating space. As the scrimmage continued, Semenyo found himself more involved. He was making better runs, positioning himself well to receive passes, and his touch was becoming more controlled. The game became more natural, and Semenyo began to see the benefits of the training sessions. He was starting to play with the same level of confidence he had shown at Bournemouth, but now it was on a bigger stage. In the final minutes of the session, Semenyo found himself with the ball at his feet. He had created enough space for himself, and with just the goalkeeper to beat, he calmly finished with a low strike into the corner of the net. The shot was clean, composed, and confident, a sign that Semenyo was beginning to find his rhythm. The aftermath, reflecting and looking ahead. As the session came to a close, Guardiola gathered the players around for a debrief. The feedback was constructive, and Guardiola made it clear that while progress had been made, there was still much to work on. "Today was good, Antoine, but tomorrow we work harder," Guardiola said, smiling. "You have great potential. You must now adapt to the speed of thought here, and that will come with time." Semenyo left the pitch exhausted but elated. He had made a solid first impression, but he knew that this was just the beginning. The journey ahead would be challenging, with competition for places fierce, but he was ready. That night, as he reflected on his first training session at Manchester City, Semenyo felt a sense of pride. He had stepped into a world-class environment, learned from one of the best managers in the world, and had been given the chance to prove himself. He knew that the road ahead would require hard work. But with Guardiola's guidance, Semenyo was confident he could meet the challenge head-on. And with that, his Manchester City journey had truly begun.